Okay, more mercenary action for you here. This is a slightly different one now. We've got the mothership. The mothership, what am I talking about? The dropship rolling. The Myron is in the house. And this is it. This is its inaugural flight. Usually I fly the Galante ones on other characters, but this is the new way, and this is what I want to try and get the Caldari spec on this character. So that's why I've been kind of pushing it. And you can see there's the Byron, isn't it looking lovely? So this is, I love dropships, I love everything about them. It's just a shame that I think they're very difficult to get kills in nowadays, as you can see, from, just how I think they operate. It's very difficult to really kind of get kills with missiles. We've been using hybrid turrets quite a lot as well lately, but I think this is pretty much and the afterburner's a bit sensitive, as you can see, and then I punch it again, and I bang right into the MCC. Oh, not a good start. Oh, crikey. Yeah, so the afterburners are particularly good. Again, if you're going to use a dropship, I wouldn't use one without an afterburner, but they're pretty good. They're pretty good, actually. I mean, I've got to admit, I'm quite impressed with their survivability. They certainly, they're good fun. I think they need a bit of work, though. I think really the nerfing of the missile turret is pretty it's pretty bad. I think if you're going to give them blasters, if you want people to use blasters and such, then maybe increase the range, because otherwise they're just pretty useless. And I'd say maybe make it a bit more potent, let's say. Also, rockets should be good against vehicles, and obviously, as you can see, we've just been hitting a tank. It's not really doing anything, so kind of sucks, but there we go. And I think, just the concept of the dropship is just so cool, and I would say that, PlanetSide 2 have always done, vehicles or aerial vehicles very well, but I would say the dropship in this is it is better, because it just has that lovely sort of, feel to it. It could be a utility vehicle, you can ferry troops, you can even repair your vehicles and so on. So I love it. I think to me, this is like the bridge between Eve and Dust. This is like a little mini ship that I can fit and have some fun with. So, I'm going to spend a lot of time using these things, but I just think they need a bit of work. I think they need a bit of love. They need a bit of assistance, really, because, currently they're just, I don't know, they're kind of like, it's very difficult to get kills. It's very difficult to really do anything with them, which is a shame. But anyway, that's where we are. This map is pretty cool for dropships. I think, again, we've got some guy in a missile turret who's fanatically trying to kill me. All power to him. But again, he's shooting missiles at me that really probably won't even kill me. So kind of pointless, buddy, but he's still trying. There he is. Bless him. So kind of pointless. But you can see the kind of map isn't going too well, to be honest. I think because the three of us are actually arsing around using afterburners and being, kind of joyriding, I don't think we're helping the ground troops. So this is why I think dropships, they need some, well, not love, I guess. They just need a bit of focus to make them good, because right now the three of us are useless. We can't get any kills, even though we're kind of trying to. It's too difficult to get kills. But look at the fun. It's just such a cool thing to have a dropship. Almost hitting our MCC again. That's pretty funny. And I think, this kind of is a good example, really, of what Dust is going to do, because, imagine this. Come with me on a journey what PvE could be like in this game. Because think of how cool it would be to be able to, have a rogue drone infestation or similar, and you all have to pile into a dropship, and you have to kind of scan around a big map, looking for them, trying to, take them out. Oh, how cool would that be? And I think, okay, the dropships don't have to be mobile wagons of death. They should be what they say they are. They should be the ability to pick a squad up, then head to a particular location, drop them off, and then provide fire support. That's exactly the purpose of what a dropship should do, and I think really that's what they should look at, making them do, but above and beyond what they do now, because what they do now isn't really much. They're pretty cool. They look awesome, but I don't think they strike particular fear into people's hearts. If you see a tank coming, you're going to worry. If you see a dropship coming, well, I think before changes you may have worried. Obviously can't say too much, but I think nowadays that dude's still firing missiles at me. Unbelievable. I think nowadays people are not really too frightened of these things, which is a shame. But again, I think that's, the missiles needed a nerf, I do agree. But I think they've gone maybe a bit too far, but who knows. As you can see, we've got kills in these things before. We've got quite a lot of kills in these things before, but I just think, it was a bit laggy on the server as well today, I must admit. It was difficult. We were kind of running around doing running and gunning, and we were kind of just missing people every time, and it was just getting a bit frustrating. So maybe there's a bit of lag to play here as well. I don't know. Who knows? But I just love them. I think everything about dropships is awesome. There is one minor fault with them, I think, which is the controls. It would be good to not have to kind of select a button, then use the radial thing to then pick the module you want to use. It would be good if you could just maybe press, a button to cycle and then activate if needed. So maybe, that's something to bear in mind. Who knows? Just putting ideas out there. You can see we haven't killed even a single thing yet, and we've got a tank shooting us now, so it's time to hit the overdrive and get the hell out of there. And here's where we're just kind of just rolling around still. Now, I've got this fit pretty badly. This is just an afterburner and a shield booster. There's no hardeners, there's no extenders or anything like that just yet. But even then, they still is pretty survivable. It could take a swarm launcher probably quite easily, as long as you didn't take two. You'd be able to get out. As long as you keep your afterburner prepped, you can always just get the hell out of Dodge and then boost yourself while you escape. So with a good pilot, I would say you're probably never going to lose a dropship, because you can always evade. As long as you don't get caught in a trap, you should be fine. So there we go. Look, we're firing on that tank, rocket after rocket. It's just not doing anything. Sucks, CCP. Please fix it. You don't have to make them brilliant. Again, I think it's more just a case of give us other weapons, make it lasers. You could strafe with lasers or something. That'd be pretty cool. But who knows? I just think the whole idea of the dropship is brilliant, and I think that was actually the reason why I got Dust, to be honest. When I saw you could actually fly dropships, I was like, right, here, take my money, because I love it. I think this is what PlanetSide 2 never did. The Galaxy was obviously supposed to be something similar to this and others, but to me this is a little bit Star Wars, a little bit kind of Aliens to a degree, and I just think it's absolutely awesome. Now, this is interesting. I think lag just hit me there because for some reason it punched me out of my own dropship. Now, the poor guys in it just hit the ground and they died, so I felt a bit bad for them there. And then lag pretty much was killing us for the rest of that map, so we didn't get many kills. Now, fast forward to the next match, and I'm going to kind of merge the two here. This is slightly into the match where basically we're not going to do any vehicles here, but this was probably the closest battle I think we'd had in a long time, because there was two really good sides, and I think really there was kind of a determination to win, let's say, because we had some really good players, we had some really good fits, we had logistics on the field, repping everybody. It was just glorious, it really was. If this is what the game is going to be when people have found their niche, they found what they enjoy doing, oh my god, it's going to be good fun. So you'll see this as we go. Basically we had oh, that's not good. There you go. The perils of minigunning is that if you reload, you're pretty much in trouble. But this match was particularly good. Oh, that's pretty cool. This match was pretty good because basically everybody was, most of the players had a particular fit. They were actually, rolling with a particular style of play. And as I said, we had logistics. We had some really good scouts. We had some really good assault players as well. And we even had the odd forge gunner who was doing some good stuff. So all round, it was a good game. And to be honest, the enemy also had exactly the same. So it was pretty much 50-50. Now, I've just done a video on this, and you've probably just seen this same map. It's a slightly different map because this is just A, B, and C. But this one, again, is a fascinating map because, like another previous map I've just shown, this one is where you have 3 points and then a CRU. And the CRU, as always, is that CRU there is the linchpin to the entire map. So, I know we're kind of talking the same thing, but the other map I've mentioned and shown you, I'm sure, previously is exactly the same thing, but there is a CRU near point B on the other map. So kind of a pattern developing here. I mean, God, I don't want to get all strategic on you, but kind of just starting to think about, right, what is the oh, that's not good. Run away. The kind of starting to think about what actually are some of the particulars of winning. So I'm almost starting to theory craft here, because what I'm kind of getting is that these maps where you have 3 spawn points and it's all in a complex, if you can basically deny them a spawn, then you're laughing. But again, now thinking, taking that strand a step forward, what you actually then mean is, spawn pads become immensely important, and I've actually just fit spawn pads to pretty much most of my suits. At least one of my each type of suit has got a spawn pad in it now. Well, actually, it's only 2: the Scout, the Dragonfly, and the Assault suit. But again, the purpose being is that the ability to deny or the ability to set a spawn is really key. Now, so I'll show you some of the tactics maybe in a later video, but one of the key things we started to do is, as we were capping points, is we were getting spawn pads dropped nearby in a hidden area, so that when we could see people, obviously when we started to lose points, we could just immediately spawn back to the place that needs to be. So works well. I'll show you a bit more of that obviously in maybe the next video, because again, just maybe as we start to kind of stop flailing around like newborn Bambi, and we start to maybe kind of think about how we could maybe dominate and win this game. It's the goon in me, I think. What I would say is these sort of tactics I think are going to be key, because you really need to know how to see certain tactics being used against you and then counter them. And I think it's quite cool because a lot of the time you just don't see spawn pads. Hopefully more and more people start to use them, but I think it's because they're no longer free. You have to pay for them. So I think a lot of people are actually kind of not buying them. So I would say they're really cool. And we'll show you, maybe we'll do a bit of an equipment video maybe next time, just to show you some of the different equipments. For example, I now have a sniper fit with a nano forge, and we played a map just on my own. Actually, the squad had gone for a pee break, so I basically was on my own, and I just ran a quick round and got 24 kills and 1 death, and just sniping. But because I had 2 nano forges, that was enough ammo to last me through the entire round. So, it was pretty cool. All I did was snipe, and again, I wouldn't say I'm brilliant at sniping, but I quite like it. But I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't like being sniped, but I think as a thing to do on your own, it's actually not too bad. But I think it's, you couldn't. I don't see how you can even snipe without a nano forge, to be perfectly honest. So that's a really good example. And I think the other one is going to be. Now this is cool. They're trying to stop me from actually keeping this CRU. See, this CRU is ours, and they're actually trying to stop me. So they're basically just running forward in 1s and 2s trying to stop me, and then all of a sudden I get some support. Now that was awesome. I must have killed 4 players there, just keeping this CRU on our side. So it was pretty awesome, and that's probably not unusual with the whole the way the game goes, to be honest, because a lot of the kind of concept of here is that you do need to be able to keep yourself in the game. If we'd have lost the CRU, then we'd be in big trouble, because you can see all of our points are actually being hacked, as they say. So it's kind of a tricky one, this, because obviously the CRU is pretty key. So keeping that under our control is really one of the key kind of objectives of this map. I would almost say that it's probably the most important thing on the map in this particular map to keep on your side, because it always gives you a foothold into the base. So let's review. We're doing not too bad. I mean, B's just been hacked by that dude. Let's see if I can punish him for that. Oh man, there we go. So that guy jumped as he died. That's quite funny. Oh, he killed me. Damn it. Burst assault rifle. Oh, that's a pretty good gun, actually. Did me a lot of damage. And I think that's probably one of the things to bear in mind with the heavy, is that if you've got armor damage, you do need to try and fix it. I know it's very difficult to be fixed because not many people run logistics or remote armor reps yet, but if you can, maybe try and use the supply depot trick, assuming that's not an exploit. I wouldn't have thought it is, because you do need to kind of keep your armor up. To be honest, you only have a small shield. No, that sucks. You only have a small shield, so dying losing your armor means you're going to die very quickly. And this area here, I mean, again, you know, I kind of keep going on about it, but the CIU in this area really is the focal point of the entire map because everybody's here. So I think it's just critical. And I've actually switched to shotgun because I think I just wanted to try and get some shotgun kills. I think the shotgun is a quick way to put somebody down without them firing back at you. So you know, if you can get some good. Oh man, not good. You need to be able to spawn. So they're pretty much all over us here. I think no matter where we spawn, we've got people hitting us, and yeah, it's looking. Things are looking bleak, as you would say. So it kind of sucks, but kind of just hanging to see if anybody respawn and anybody has a med pen. But obviously not. So you know, what can you do? So you know, this is kind of the sad part of it is that. When it gets frantic like this, it means you could spawn in and be killed almost immediately. Now, don't let that, you know, kind of depress you really, because it's just part of the game. There will always be, you'll always be on the other side at some point where somebody will spawn in and you get the early shot on them. So you know, don't be a hater too easily, because to be honest, you know, it's part of the game. It's part of any game really. I mean, you know, even oh God, I think even. Planetary 2 is exactly the same, so you know you do get. Oh, this guy's am I firing rubber bullets? There we go. So I'm just surprised sometimes. I'm going to sound like a whiny git now, but as I was playing this, I was saying to the other guys, because I think this was with Eddie and Josh, and we were basically saying, my bullet's not hitting these people. Are they doing less damage? Because I must be losing my mind, but it just felt like I was doing less damage. I think the reality was I was actually having a bit of lag. So while I thought I was hitting these people with the full shotgun spread, I was maybe hitting them with a part of it. So therefore, actually, you know, I'm lagging. Therefore, I think my damage was low. You'll probably find that as you play the game, if your frame rate sucks, or if you notice the speech in the game slurring, it sounds like she's had a sherry or one too many. You may want to consider dropping out that battle and joining another, because you're probably really lagged. Now, it depends. I think you have to make your own call on it. But I would say if you're in a lagged server, you're not going to have much. You're not going to have a good time, and you're not going to actually kill much. So. And you're also going to be incredibly easy to be killed. So I know it sucks to kind of drop from matches, but if you do have lag, and I mean proper lag, not just oh my god I shot him, how is he not dead? Then you know, consider maybe leaving. So you can see here I'm getting shots on this guy, but I mean just usually it doesn't take 2 shots to kill him, but I don't know, probably me. Probably just lagging slightly, probably me. This was late at night as well. Oh no, pretty good kill there. I was pretty happy. So I think really it just becomes, if you see you getting lag, don't always sit and grin and bear it, because the last thing you want is actually to be in a laggy server that you basically die on a lot. So always consider moving around servers if you've got lag. Obviously if you don't, then don't be a bitch about it. Stay and fight. And I think this is, again, it's funny actually, because I think pretty much we must have played maybe 4 or 5 games yesterday. And at every single point, we were either dominating the map or we were being dominated. And there was actually one match where it was straight down the line. It was 50-50 who was going to win this, and it was the most tense game I think we'd ever played, and we lost. But at the end of it, everybody was high-fiving and wooting, because it was like that was actually one of the best fights I think any of us had ever had. And I think that's kind of the way that it should be, because there is this there's this fear, I think, of mine that if the game becomes a festive ownage on one side or the other, then what's the point of playing the game? And I think this is something that corporations probably need to bear in mind, because let's, for example, say take the best corporation in Dust at the moment. I don't know who that is. I've got a few names I could mention, but I won't. Unless you pay me to, I won't. These corporations are incredibly good at this game. We met a squad of 3 of them in a map that I haven't shown yet, and they really were good. They had such good control, coordination. Their equipment was unbelievable. They were using weapons I'd never even heard of, and they were just killing people in 2 or 3 shots. And all credit to them. They really knew their trade, and I think it was a joy to play against them, because when you killed one of them, it was like, yeah, that actually means something. So I think that's really something that I think is awesome in the game. But what I would stress is that, and to my original point, is that once these guys get so good, basically no one's going to fight you, because I don't think Dust is going to be like Eve, where you can basically be so good you can just go and take space and own it. I mean, it probably will be at some point, but I think there's always going to be this thing where you need to fight against someone. You can't kind of spawn into a map like this and just be you. So I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to balance that, because I think some of the corps, they're so big, there's thousands of members, and Dust is, you know, even if they put 100 v 100, it's still, I don't know, I can't see how it's going to be kind of really beneficial to be in a corporation where you just have utter domination over anyone else. You know what I mean? I'm probably whining, but you know what I mean? To me, it's almost like, you know, this needs to be about the good fights, because otherwise, you know, I mean, we're a corporation of what, 10 people, 11 people maybe now, and you know, that's it. And to be honest, you can never expect us to go up against a 1,000-man corps, but are they going to cater for that? You know, if they make it so that dust mercs can actually capture land and start to earn income off it, which I'm sure they will, because that's awesome. Does that then mean that you have to be part of a, you know, 1,000-man corp, and then you get all the alliance bull crap and all that? So I don't know. I'm curious to see how it's going to work, because you know, if they allow alliances, then fair enough, because then you could have, you know, 100 10-man corps taking on a one-man, you know, a one-corp 1,000-person corp. So I think, you know, I think there's certainly a lot to come yet. But you know, I was just kind of, you know, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm just thinking, you know, really keen to understand the PvE, the ISK side of this, the industry side of it. You know, when are they going to release the blueprints onto the market in Eve, so I can start to make guns? Because, you know, I'm not blowing my own trumpet. I've got a few quid in Eve. I'm really kind of keen to become an industrial supplier to Dust. So, you know, I'm really kind of looking forward to that, because to me that's going to be pretty cool. Can you imagine building like dropships? You know, here's 1,000 dropships. I just don't think they'll ever let you do that, though. I think, can you imagine that? I mean, I could probably put, I don't know, 50 billion into Dust if I wanted to, and you know, that would just destroy everything. So it's like the other way, you know, I'm talking about 1,000-man corp breaking the game. Not that they do, but they could. And I think, you know, there's also the other way around, which, you know, rich SOBs like I, who should know better, can basically just come in and, you know, buy up the game pretty much. So I'm interested. I'm really interested to see how they're going to do this. And, you know, I think, you know, CCP are an awesome company, and I do have a huge amount of faith in them. And I think, you know, it'll be good to see, you know, how they basically do this, because I think there's a lot of very eager Eve pilots and Dust mercenaries who are really keen to start seeing those links. You know, this is a great game. I love Dust and I also love Eve. Let's see how you merge the two. How are you going to knit the two together now? Because I think that's where a lot of the interest is going to be. I also think that's where your USP, your unique selling point for this whole concept, comes from, CCP. So please, you know, let's hear something on what your thoughts are. You know, in the next dev blog, that'd be awesome, because I just think there's some really cool, you know, concepts here where you could have, you know, an industry corp that produces weaponry and, you know, machinery and, you know, whatever it takes. And, you know, I really can't wait to get into that. And I just think it's going to be pretty awesome. And they do need to find a way to bar, you know, multi-billionaires, you know, flooding the market, because there is going to be that kind of challenge where, you know, for example, if I can interact with the Dust market, I could just literally put on 1,000 dropships and everything onto the market for, you know, like one ISK, and then just as I do it, make sure that my character's ready to then buy them all. Do you know what I mean? I hope that there's going to be that kind of guard. I'm sure there will be, but I think I'm curious to see how maybe it's going to work, because I think there's a real, you know, kind of challenge there. Do you see that guy? I think that shows that I'm lagging, because I'm pretty sure I did get a couple of shots on him, but it was just showing that I missed. So I think I was just, yeah, not missing. Now, it's interesting, because I think when it comes to actually joining games, you do have particular squad. Yeah, your squad leader, I think, dictates where the server is. I could be wrong, but Josh was telling me, I think, a way back, that if your squad leader is American, as ours is, then when you join a server, you'll join an American server. So you do have a slight latency issue there.
But you know, I don't think. Tell me if in the comments if that's right or wrong, because that'd be interesting to know. Because obviously we need to factor that in, because we've got half American, half UK, and so on. So it's going to be a good point. So there we go. We lost. I've hit my skill cap for the day, so I only got 75 skill points. But look at that lovely ISK. That's pretty cool. And 22 kills, 12 deaths. Not great, but it will do. I'll take it. I think that was probably one of the more closer battles we had, and it was pretty good fun. So you know, really enjoyed that. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.